That was the NBA. I've been gone a while. To the top NFL story in Pittsburgh. Everybody is at the Combine. Steelers GM Omar Khan open to an Aaron Rodgers return. Adam Schefter says he believes around the league that Rodgers is expected to make a decision sooner than last year, so we should be hearing something from him in the next few weeks. And then yesterday, on Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio, Schefter dropped this nugget on Aaron Rodgers' future.
Last year, I think he did want to play in Minnesota. So if he wanted to do that last year, I don't know why he wouldn't want to do it this year. The issue last year was that the Vikings were very sensitive to bringing in somebody like Aaron Rodgers, who's such a force, such a dominant personality, and how that would hinder or affect the impact or the growth of J.J. McCarthy. So maybe they feel differently. It's a different set of dynamics. The GM has been fired. I wouldn't rule it out.
Wouldn't rule out Aaron Rodgers to the Vikings. How do you like it, Dominique?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's certainly going to be on the table. The idea that Aaron Rodgers is the same kind of dominant personality that he was last year seems a little different. But I'd hesitate. Like, I'd warn Aaron Rodgers about assuming that the situation is going to be better. Like, it felt as if he got comfortable with the Steelers, and I know the coaching change might have an impact on how comfortable Aaron Rodgers is, but he does have a history with McCarthy. I'm not sure that I love the idea of Aaron Rodgers going in and trying to adapt to a new offense. He's not going to get more comfortable taking hits this season, so the expectation is going to be high wherever he is, and I think it's possible that if he goes to Minnesota, the Vikings might be disappointed in the quarterback that they receive.
Which one would you rather be? Right, if you're Rodgers, you're going to Pittsburgh or
Minnesota, hands down. I think it's a way better situation than he had in Pittsburgh because of the players that are surrounding him in Minnesota. Justin Jefferson, in my opinion, is still the best wide receiver in the National Football League. You have T.J. Hockenson as a tight end, and you have a really good number two in Jordan Addison. I think Kevin O'Connell, and you look at the offensive system, it's not like Aaron Rodgers is foreign to that system. He did play in Green Bay for Matt LaFleur. All these systems are intertwined with one another. So it's not like it'll be foreign to him learning a new system. I'm just looking at, okay, who is going to be opposite of DK Metcalf? Who is going to be running the football effectively in Pittsburgh next season? The offensive line wasn't the greatest as well, too. So I think when you look at the two situations, the better one, in my opinion, is in Minnesota with the Vikings. Oh, yeah, by the way, they play in a dome.
Oh, it's definitely Minnesota. Like we've seen this whole Pittsburgh Steelers situation. You're talking about an older quarterback that if he returns to Pittsburgh, still has the same old defense that they allocated the most money to, and they still weren't good. You had, like you talked about, they have no one opposite DK Metcalf. The line was average. The running game was average. Like, what are we getting with the Pittsburgh Steelers? I think we get more of the same from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now look at Minnesota. That Brian Flores defense, still going to be really good. The infrastructure on offense, much better than the Pittsburgh Steelers. And when you talk about trying to learn a new offense, hell, he's 42 years old. There's not an offense that Aaron Rodgers hasn't seen or hasn't been a part of. So for me, it's Minnesota.
Greedy, can I say this really quick?
Go.
Because I think the defensive side of things is a major factor here. The Minnesota Vikings won 9 games last season with incompetent quarterback play. That defense led by Brian Flores, third in the National Football League.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it also seems like a better situation. Nick, you're the only one shaking your head.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can't argue with the talent around him, but I think we're making an assumption that Aaron Rodgers is just like a very easy to fit square puzzle piece. Like, we saw him have a lot of success in Green Bay, then we saw things not work out in New York, and then we saw him go to Pittsburgh and seem to fit in pretty well. I am just hesitant to assume, and maybe this is from the Vikings point of view rather than Aaron Rodgers' point of view. I'm just not going to automatically assume that wherever you put Aaron Rodgers means it's going to work out for him. We found a spot in Pittsburgh where they like him, he liked them. Let's not get carried away.
Well, I'm not going to assume anything with a 42-year-old quarterback. You're playing with house money with a 42-year-old quarterback. But if the question is which situation is better, then obviously you're going to pick the Minnesota situation because I think Minnesota's a better football team.
Right, but which team is better off bringing Rodgers in, to Neek's point, with the sort of things that make him Aaron Rodgers, the very particular things that make him Aaron Rodgers? If you're the Vikings,
I don't want the Pittsburgh Steelers to bring back Aaron Rodgers.
No.
I think at some point they need to transition to what their future is going to look like. And Aaron Rodgers is 42 years old. He's not their future. looking at Minnesota, you can plug in Aaron Rodgers right now, in my opinion, and you're throwing to a guy, no matter if he's double covered, what's the circumstances, he's going to come down and make the play for you in Justin Jefferson.
Nick, very quick final thought. Go.
What? We said that about the last two teams Aaron Rodgers was on, and it didn't work out. It was like Aaron Rodgers on the Steelers. It might be nice. Aaron Rodgers on the Jets. They're going to win the Super Bowl. And it just hasn't quite worked out that way. It's no offense to Aaron Rodgers, but he don't want to get hit. He ain't athletic the way he used to be. He ain't that guy anymore. And, I mean, J.J. McCarthy's not the answer either, obviously, but let's not assume that just adding Aaron Rodgers means it'll be better.
All of this assumes that Rodgers wants to play another year. Hopefully, we'll hear about that. I'm Get Up and back to the NFL with more burning questions as the Combine continues. The Cardinals general manager is Monty Ossenfort. He says trade talks are open for Kyler Murray, and he has not yet spoken to the quarterback this offseason. Neek, is Kyler Murray the answer to some team's quarterback question?
Absolutely. I think of all the quarterbacks that might be available, he has the highest ceiling. Like, he was the #1 overall pick, and he still hasn't lost that athleticism or that crazy arm talent. I understand that there's some concerns about his preparation and, of course, his size. But if you get it right, we've seen Kyler Murray play MVP-level football for half a season, maybe. But if you get it right into the right situation, you could put it together for an entire season.
D. Wood, there are teams out there that desperately needs quarterbacks. One of them is the New York Jets, and you obviously know them well. Is that a move you would endorse?
I would. For a couple reasons. Number one, they don't have a quarterback. But Aaron Glenn is a guy that, listen, Aaron Glenn got to push all his chips on the table because he might not make it to 2027. And so you talk about a quarterback in Kyler Murray, and Aaron Glenn always talks about quarterbacks that's mobile, dual threat. Well, guess what? Kyler Murray fits that mold. So I would anticipate them looking into that move.
Give me another team you like, Harry.
I'm going to Indianapolis Colts, and it's because of Shane Steichen, the head coach and the play caller, what he likes to do with his quarterbacks. Having those guys on the move, the RPO, the quarterback being able to be a rushing threat and posing that threat to a defense. We know the Colts are all in right now based on how they went and traded for Sauce Gardner. They're going all in. Why not go all in and go get Kyler Murray?
All right, we'll see what winds up happening with him. We'll do more on him later. Let me go to another one, and that's the 49ers struggling to agree on a contract extension with the enormous Trent Williams, who was 47 going on 48. Check that. 37 going on 38. It just feels like he's been in the league forever. D. Wood, can you explain to people just how good this man still is?
He's still Trent Williams is aging like fine wine, man. Like, this dude is still one of the best offensive linemen that we have in our game, even at the age of 38. If Trent Williams hit the free agent market, there will be teams lined up to try to sign Trent Williams. That's how good he's still playing, even at this age.
All right, felt like worth saying, a 49er team that did so much last year despite all the injuries. And then our last stop, we shuffle off to Buffalo, where Josh Allen, as you know, is recovering from surgery to repair a broken bone in his foot. The new coach is Joe Brady. Says he's not worried about Allen's recovery. He also talked to Kmart about how to best help Josh this offseason.
Building around Josh, that's going to be paramount this offseason. But what's the best way to do that?
Well, there's a lot of ways to do that. And I think a lot of people think the only way to help Josh Allen is to get him offensive help. Right? Sometimes helping Josh Allen is helping him with a defensive player, with getting him the ball back another possession. Josh Allen is at the root of everything we think of. We think about Josh Allen, and whatever we can do to help him have success, we're going to do.
That's Kmart with the head coach. This is Neek. Neek, you made an interesting observation in the notes last night about the clout that Josh Allen seems to wield in Buffalo right now.
It seems like we're entering like a new era for at least a player like Josh Allen, where normally a young, talented quarterback, like as he grows, the head coach and the GM also get more power. So it feels like the normal hierarchy that we're used to, but it doesn't feel like that anymore. It doesn't feel like anyone has that much like admiration or respect for anyone else in the organization other than Josh Allen. It feels like he's running the show, and I absolutely love it. It feels like NBA style superstar gets to make the decisions, and it does seem like Joe Brady, even though he's talking about the defense, I think he's absolutely right. The way that you help a quarterback is you keep the number that he has to target lower by having a defense that gets some stops every now and then.
And with the perception, however accurate it is, that Joe Brady was Josh Allen's choice to be the coach, Harry, you and I were talking over breakfast this morning. There's a feeling that, look, Josh Allen, and I love him, I think he's as good as any quarterback in the league. But I think there's always been a feeling that the Bills were losing around him. At this point, it's all going to be, the focus is going to be on him, however this thing goes.
1,000%. Sean McDermott is no longer there. When you're involved in the process of hiring the next head coach, and then that next head coach is Joe Brady, a guy that was the offensive coordinator that you work closely with, yeah, all the onus is going to be on you if you can't get it done. Enough of it was this guy, it was that guy. But going back to the defense, I do agree with Dominique. I do agree with Joe Brady. You got to look at the amount of points that they gave up the last two exits that they had in the playoffs. Last year versus the Denver Broncos, they gave up 33 points. The year before in the AFC Championship game, they gave up 32 points. At some point, that secondary has to be better. That defense has to get a stop when it matters the most. That was the Achilles heel, in my opinion, the last few seasons, especially last year. I was at that Monday Night Football game where Bijan Robinson did any and everything that he wanted. Kyle Pitts did any and everything he wanted. Drake London did anything that he wanted on the football field. So you have to be able to get stops. But outside of all of that, if they don't get it done, it's going to be on Josh Allen, no matter what.
So, D-Wood, if I told you right now, and Joe Brady was kind of talking around this, and he doesn't have to answer it one way or the other, but if I told you right now, either they could get some help on that defense or they could get a true number one wide receiver this offseason, A.J. Brown, Mike Evans, whoever that might be, which way would you go?
I'm going defense. I am. And listen, there's going to be a lot of speculation about A.J. Brown and obviously that situation in Philadelphia. But again, remember why Sean McDermott is no longer the head coach of the Buffalo Bills. Because that was his specialty. That was his side of the ball, defense. They could not hold people down. And so if you're Buffalo, the problem's not scoring. Buffalo can score with anyone. The problem is they can't stop the opposition from scoring more than what the Buffalo Bills are. So to me, get impact players on the defensive side, and hopefully you're able to hold people down some more.
Yeah, if it's an either-or scenario, I guess I agree with that, but I sure would like to see them get a number one option. Is it possible that number one option is currently